If you're wondering whether leaving California for Pittsburgh in 2026 makes sense, today I'll show you whether that trade is actually worth it, financially, emotionally, and day to day. Hi, I'm Diane, and I help people figure out whether big moves, especially cross-country, make sense for them. In this video, we're taking a hard look at what life in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2026 really means, from housing to lifestyle, trade-offs, and whether leaving California for Pittsburgh could actually improve your quality of life. If you're seriously considering relocating, hit the subscribe button now. Let's dig in. Let's start with the question almost everyone asks first. Can I even afford to live there? In Pittsburgh, the answer is usually yes. Realtor.com analysis shows that Pittsburgh is considered the most affordable large housing market in the United States for 2025. In Pittsburgh, the median listing price hovers around $250,000. That is more than $150,000 below the national median for large markets. That alone changes your financial trajectory. For many Californians who feel stuck renting, Pittsburgh becomes the first place where homeownership shifts from a dream to a realistic near-term move. In fact, recent reports show that Pittsburgh is currently one of the few major U.S. metro areas where buying a starter home is actually cheaper than renting one. In mid-2025, buying a typical starter home costs about $111 less per month than renting a similar place, based on Realtor.com's analysis. More broadly, day-to-day living tends to cost a little less too. Most cost of living calculators put Pittsburgh's overall cost of living around 2% below the national average, mainly because housing is cheaper than in many U.S. cities. Things like foods, goods and services cost less than in many coastal metros. So if you're coming from somewhere expensive, especially a high-cost place like many parts of California, this difference alone translates into real savings and more breathing room. That could mean finally owning a home instead of renting, or affording more space, or simply having the flexibility to spend or save in ways that feel smarter long-term without sacrificing comfort or convenience. But what are the trade-offs? Here's what you need to know. Utilities in Pittsburgh can be higher than people expect, especially if you're coming from a mild coastal climate. For a modest apartment around 915 square feet, basic utilities like electricity, heating and cooling, water, garbage, they run in the ballpark of a little over $200 per month. Several sources say that utilities here are somewhat higher than the national average, even though the overall cost of living is slightly lower. What does that mean? If you are used to mild weather and relatively low heating costs in parts of California, you may see your winter utility bills go up once you're running that heat through a real Pennsylvania winter. Also, many homes in Pittsburgh were built decades ago. One cost of living analysis notes that a large share of the housing stock dates back to before 1939. That can mean more charm, sure, but it can also mean more likelihood of maintenance needs like older plumbing, wiring, older roofs, and occasional repairs. If you're buying a starter home at a lower cost, it's smart to budget for upkeep and potential updates in addition to your mortgage payment. Pittsburgh has what we would describe as a four-season climate. Summers are warm and can be humid. Winters are cold and often snowy. For example, in the coldest month, January, the average high is about 39 degrees Fahrenheit and the average low is about 23 degrees. The city averages around 44 inches of snow per year. That's quite different from many parts of California, especially coastal or southern areas where you may be used to sun, mild winters, and only occasional rain, not regular snow and not long stretches of gray winter days. So if you thrive on sunshine and warm winters, this is definitely a shift. You will need real winter clothes, a solid plan for heating, and probably some experience with shoveling or snow removal. Because so many houses in Pittsburgh are older, the cheaper housing option sometimes comes with trade-offs in style, finishes, or modern convenience. Maybe you get beautiful original windows, but they draft easily, or vintage hardwood floors, which may creak and eventually need refinishing. If ownership is your goal, it's wise to budget not only for mortgage and taxes, but also for upkeep, repairs, and potential upgrades over time, especially in older neighborhoods where the bones are great, but the systems may be dated. If you move from a high-cost, warm weather place, it's worth recognizing. You save thousands on housing costs compared to many California markets, but some monthly expenses, especially utilities and cold weather maintenance, may feel higher than what you are used to, particularly if you're coming from a milder coastal area. You'll have to prepare for real seasons, chilly winters, snow, and shorter days. That affects how you dress, how you commute, and how you spend your time. These trade-offs are not bad, they are just real. And for many people, the savings and the overall lifestyle balance still make the trade well worth it. So before we go any further, let's circle back to that big question. Is leaving California for Pittsburgh actually worth it? The next thing we will talk about will really help you decide. We are about to look at what Pittsburgh neighborhoods really feel like compared to what most newcomers expect. And then we will get into the quality of life and opportunities here that people usually don't hear about until they arrive. If this has been helpful so far, go ahead and like this video and hit subscribe so you never miss helpful updates about life in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Are you thinking about relocating to the greater Pittsburgh area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it down below. From top employers, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me right, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps. Before you start boxing anything up, let's talk honestly about Pittsburgh's neighborhoods, because this is one of the biggest areas where expectations can look very different once you get here. Pittsburgh is a city made up of distinct pockets, each with its own personality, pace, and price point. You're not choosing Pittsburgh as a whole, you're choosing the neighborhood that matches the lifestyle that you want. And trust me, they do not all feel the same. Some areas closer to downtown or near the universities tend to be more competitive. Places like Shadyside and Squirrel Hill are popular with people who want walkability, nearby shops and cafes, and access to major hospitals and universities. Shadyside has vibrant business districts with restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and shopping streets like Walnut Street. Squirrel Hill is known for being a walkable, family-friendly neighborhood with nearby parks such as Shenley or Frick Park. These neighborhoods give you that comfortable, lived-in charm while still being close to everything. If you want something trendier and more urban, Lawrenceville is a favorite among young professionals and creatives. It is known as a major arts and culture district with historic warehouses turned into galleries, boutiques, restaurants, breweries, and a lively street scene that often reminds people of smaller arts districts in bigger coastal cities. Now, if you're coming from California and craving more space or a quieter setting, you might appreciate places like Regent Square or Mount Lebanon. Regent Square offers a cozy community feel, tree-lined streets, local businesses, and easy access to Frick Park, giving you that almost small-town vibe right at the edge of the city. Mount Lebanon, just south of the city, is a classic Pittsburgh suburb. It's known for strong public schools, a walkable main street, and that true suburban feel with parks, events, and a strong sense of community, which is why it often tops best suburbs and best neighborhoods for families lists around Pittsburgh. Although Pittsburgh is still far more affordable than many major cities, prices have been inching up. Not fast, but steady as demand from newcomers grows and inventory stays fairly tight. So when you find a home that you love in one of these popular neighborhoods, especially if it's priced well, it can go quickly. Having a plan and being ready to move helps you avoid missing out. And if you're moving from California, this next part is important. Think about what space means to you. Think about your commute and how much driving you are used to. Think about the weather and how you like to spend your weekends. Pittsburgh has real seasons, hills instead of coastlines, and neighborhoods that can feel very different from one zip code to the next. Some areas are walkable and lively, while others are quiet and tucked away. None of that is right or wrong, it's just different. The clearer you are about the lifestyle that you want, the faster you will find that Pittsburgh neighborhood that feels like home. All right, let's shift into what it really feels like to live in Pittsburgh, because this is the part that most people moving from California don't see coming. And honestly, it's usually the part that wins them over. We talked about the overall lower cost of living earlier, but what truly surprises people is how far that comfort extends into everyday life here. Running errands, planning weekends, finding activities for kids, or even taking time for yourself. it all feels a little easier. The pace is steady, not frantic, and your budget is not being squeezed at every corner. That alone lifts a lot of pressure off of your day-to-day routine. But here is the real curveball for many relocators: Pittsburgh's opportunities. This city is not the old steel town that people imagine. It has transformed into a major hub for healthcare, education, technology, research, and robotics. The regional economy is now heavily driven by eds and meds, life sciences, high-tech, AI, and advanced manufacturing, with major institutions like UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh, and Carnegie Mellon University anchoring the job market. In recent years, Pittsburgh has been positioning itself as a national leader in artificial intelligence and robotics, attracting investment startups and even multi-billion-dollar unicorn companies in deep tech sectors. That diversity creates a job market that is more stable and dependable than many people expect. When you are thinking long-term, like building a career, buying a home, or planning for your family, that stability makes a huge difference. And even with that strong economic base, Pittsburgh does not sacrifice lifestyle. You still get the big city perks: nationally recognized medical centers, respected universities, vibrant arts and culture, professional sports, and neighborhoods with real character and charm. The difference is that you get to enjoy all of this without the overwhelming financial pressure that often comes with coastal metros. For many newcomers, that balance is the moment everything clicks. Pittsburgh is not a fallback option. It is a smart, intentional choice for people who want opportunity, comfort, and a lifestyle that supports their goals instead of draining their wallet. So here's the truth. Moving from California to Pittsburgh isn't downgrading. It can be upgrading your life on your terms. More disposable income, a chance at homeownership, and a city that gives you the comforts of urban living without the inflated costs. If you're tired of trading your paycheck for rent or stressing over mortgages, Pittsburgh could be exactly what you're looking for. If you're moving from California and what you want is affordability, financial breathing room, and a city that still offers culture and opportunity, Pittsburgh stands out as surprisingly a smart bet in 2026. It has lower than average housing costs and a quality of life balance that's really hard to find on the coasts. Real estate here is not cheap. It is valuable when you compare what you get for your money versus many coastal alternatives. But it's not perfect. You might trade sunshine for snow, bigger paychecks for smaller ones, and a certain lifestyle for a different kind of pace. For many, though, that trade is worth it. I'd love to hear what you think. Does Pittsburgh sound like it could fit the life that you're trying to build? Share your thoughts or questions in the comments. I read every single one. If you're considering a move and want help figuring out what neighborhoods or home options make the most sense for you, reach out to me directly. I'm always here to help you through the process. And when you're ready to take the next step, grab the Pittsburgh Relocation Guide that I put together. It breaks down the neighborhoods, cost expectations, and the things that most newcomers wish they had known ahead of time. The link is in the description below. Then be sure to watch this video right here: 6 reasons you might not survive living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's an honest look at what newcomers typically struggle with when they first arrive. If this video helped you today, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.